All right, good evening. Here we are, Tuesday, September 20th. So I will call the meeting to order. And first on our agenda is approval of the agenda, but I would like to make an amendment to the agenda under new business. I would like to add grant opportunity. So with that amendment, could I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the August minutes, I sent them out last week, I think. Hope everyone's had a chance to read them. So with that, I'll take a motion to approve the August minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the August minutes.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Okay. I forgot what I was gonna say, isn't that terrible? Everyone in favor of approving the August minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's approved, isn't that crazy how your mind goes so quickly? Okay, so the first item under old business is the Hoosick Bend Trail brush pile. So since our last meeting, a team of Hoosick River Watershed Association folks and a Williams College student group met Brian at the trail and they did some trail clearing. Subsequent to that, before that, I contacted Craig Odell and he indicated that the fire department would be willing to do a controlled burn
Awesome.
there. So as it stands right now, there is a big brush pile in that parking lot. Craig indicated, the fire danger has obviously been high. So it's something that we could coordinate when the fire danger is alleviated, probably, like later in the fall or in the winter. So that is where that stands.
Be nice to coordinate something around Halloween, maybe. Bonfire.
Bonfire, you're right. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
But yeah, I just want to say that those kids worked their butts off that day. They did a
Yeah.
great job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we end up getting a thank you out to them or something? Or-
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yep, we did. And the Hoosick River folks and
Good.
that. So, yeah, so that was good. It did make a big difference.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Looks nice.
They
I'm
did.
gonna have to get down there and check it out.
Yeah. Yep. They did a lot of work. Okay, so I'm going to keep that under old business until we actually,
Burn it.
until it's actually gone. So that we don't forget about it. Okay, the second item is the Spark Grant with the pollinator gardens. And I don't know if you could see, but the group started doing some planting out in the front here.
Looks good so far.
Yep, and they're gonna stop because I guess the windows are now postponed until like November or something on the old schoolhouse. There's a lot of work to be done yet on the old
Yeah.
schoolhouse. And it's too late now in the year to plant flowers. So they're gonna pause until the spring. And then complete the garden, which is basically from driveway to driveway. That's what the garden is going to be. And then there's like a path in between and a couple of benches, but they've worked hard on planning what those plants are going to be and making sure that they're native pollinators. And so anyway, it's been a good group. And we had an event last weekend to show the garden and a kids event with like a little kids garden down at the park. And so we had a nice turnout for that.
Did you? Good.
Yeah. So it's like a little tiny kids
Yeah.
garden down there. It was really fun, actually.
Nice.
The kids had a great time.
Good.
So that was good. So that grant is coming along and that grant has to be completed by, I think it was early May of next year. So there's still plenty of time on that one. The next item is the RTP grant for the Hoosick Bend Trail. And unfortunately, we didn't get that grant. We were not awarded that grant.
Oh.
So I didn't get a chance to ask for feedback on that yet, but I would like to send them a note to see if they have any suggestions. They did say that there's going to be more opportunities forthcoming. So if you didn't get a grant this time, that they will be in touch for more grants in the future. So.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. The next item is the VORAC grant. So with that one, the state, since our last meeting, the state finally communicated that they're in a position to start executing the grants. And so basically, last week, they sent the draft grant agreements. And we have 2 weeks, the town has 2 weeks to review it and send it back with any corrections or amendments or any issues with the grant agreement. Once we do that and they approve any changes, they're not going to be executed till the first or second week in November.
Okay.
So we still are 6 weeks or 8 weeks more away from getting an executed grant agreement. So again, we're kind of at a standstill. So
But we owe a response back on that, though, right?
we owe the response, the town owes the response back by another week. And so we're meeting with Tara to go over that and make sure she doesn't have any questions.
That's on Friday, this coming Friday,
I thought it was tomorrow.
tomorrow?
I can't remember because she's not going to be, I think she has class on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I don't have it in this phone. I think it's 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to make it then.
Okay. Yep. Okay, that's that one. The next item is Center Street Park Town Green Municipal Planning Grant. So that grant application was published on September 1st and is due like early December timeframe. So what that grant would be used for would be like the physical planning of Center Street Park and the town, this is centrally known as like the town green, I guess. So it'd be for planning that and also planning the physical space, like literally planning the physical space and also doing the outreach and getting the input from residents about what they want to see at the park. And this is kind of a similar process that took place at Stark Street Playground in Bennington. I don't know if you were familiar with that, but they kind of redeveloped that over the last few years and they had like a pop-up park. And they presented a bunch of different ideas for the park and people got to vote and voice their input on that. So it ended up being like, there's a pump track there, there's a playground, there's a bunch of things, but it was to facilitate public input. So the municipal planning grant, that's what we would be seeking funds for, would be to hire a consultant to do that outreach and also to do the physical planning. But I also think that the planning commission should be involved and I will send an email. John Bushy is the
Yep.
chairperson.
Chair.
Yep, I will send him an email and ask because it can be expanded to include things like the old town hall and other things in the vicinity of the village center designation.
Okay.
So it kind of is a good fit. So I will send an email to John about that. I had a quick conversation with a representative from BCRC and she indicated that they have a couple of target areas for this grant this year. One of them is physical space planning. So that fits right into our thing. And the other one is equity and ensuring, accessible public spaces, basically, for things. So what we want to do fits right into what their target area is for the municipal planning grant this year. One thing I do have to check on is the planning commission already has a municipal planning grant in progress, I think, for the industrial zoning. Is that what it is?
Yeah, the BCRC is supposed to be examining now and trying to determine where any
Yep.
potential site could be.
Yep. So I just want to make sure that because there's already one in progress, that we're not precluded from applying for another one. I don't know if they can overlap or not. So I'm going to reach out to the representative tomorrow because there would be no point in doing any work if that's a no. Because I remember first you didn't get it, the planning commission didn't get it, but then they must have got additional monies. And then you did get the planning grant, if I remember, that's the way it went or something like that. So, so I'll reach out on that. And I'll send the email to John Bushy. And more to come on that because this is due in early December. And I guess in terms of steps that I need to take or we need to take is I'll email the contact to make sure we can in fact apply for it. Then we need select board approval to actually apply for it. So that would come next. And then once the select board approves applying for it, then I can start working on the grant application. But still a little bit of time on that one. Let's see, the last item is Strobridge Park. And that was the idea, Brian, that you had about adding some recreational items there. And there is a potential grant for it, but it went by already in like August. So we have to
we
wait.
missed it till
Yeah,
next year.
yeah. And it's not exactly, but it's a potential, it's potential. So, but there's nothing else I can see that would fit for the items that we want to do there.
Okay,
But I'm going to keep it on old business so that I don't forget.
thank you.
Okay. Under new business, trunk or treat is the first item. And that was a big success last year with 3 different sites
It was.
around the town. And so Parks and Rec doesn't run trunk or treat, but I think it's good to act like a liaison to try to garner community participation in it. So I did reach out to the PTG and I heard a little bit from Pownell Youth Baseball and a little bit from Faith Church, but it kind of seems like there's some interdependencies going on or some.
Yeah, there's,
So
I don't know, PTG is supposed to meet and discuss it.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna meet and discuss it. And we're gonna try to pull a meeting together with Pownell Youth Baseball. And I haven't been at church now in quite some time, so I haven't spoken to Jason and them, so I don't know what the church's plan is.
Okay, I think they're gonna wait to see what,
But I know my wife and I would like to continue it, and we are gonna do our part to
Yeah.
help that happen.
I think the hope would be that we could have it similar. It won't be on Halloween because Halloween's on Monday this year.
Yeah, I know part of the issue with PTG is like, they're trying to figure out like what day is gonna work best and not conflict with like stuff Bennington has going on with their events, because we don't want to try to compete for the same group of people on the same day.
Right. Yep. I looked and last year the event in Bennington was on a Saturday.
Yeah, so they're gonna have their trick or treating on Main Street, then there's another like
Trunk or treat.
Fall Harvest Festival, I think they're supposed to be having. I don't know if I have the name right, but
That's not Halloween weekend.
no, it's a different weekend, because my wife was discussing PTG, like trying to figure out like what day or like whether you do a Friday, a Saturday or Sunday and what goes on what weekend. So that's where they're at right now.
Yep. So I guess we'll just, like I said, I think our job as Parks and Rec is just to try to support community partners, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
See if we
so
can coordinate.
we're trying to like, we would like to try to ultimately coordinate to where everybody is doing it at the same day. But it might turn into where it's 2 or 3 separate events.
Yep.
Because I know the teachers, at least the ones my wife has spoken to, they want to do it. They would prefer a Friday. That way they have their weekend because they're already in town after school.
Yeah.
So my wife's leaning more toward trying to do a Friday.
Okay. Well,
They're going to discuss that.
yeah.
And then she'll tell me, and then I will try to sway baseball.
Okay. Well, we'll still have plenty of time. We'll have it on the agenda for next meeting.
Yes.
So, the ice skating rink. So I just wanted to make sure, when we had the event, the garden event down at the park, a bunch of people asked about the ice skating rink.
So the plan is still, as soon as soccer is done,
Yep,
Colby and I are getting the boards from down there at the warehouse, and we're putting the frame up, and we'll be soliciting help.
yep,
And once we get the frame up, then as it gets colder, we'll lay out the plastic and we'll get the fire department down there to fill it.
okay,
And that's the plan.
okay,
That's what we have going on right now.
yep,
So they've got some orange flags to be able to put markers up, and
okay,
so
good. I was actually really surprised how many people asked about that.
we are getting asked constantly. We've had people already donate. We've had like 5 pairs of ice skates donated that people have just dropped off for us. So I'm
Good,
very excited and I'm looking forward to it.
yes.
And I've had a few people say that they would be willing to come down and help coach like ice hockey. And I'm like, we are not at that point yet. I'm like, maybe some broom ball, but
Yeah.
I'm like, we do not have a big enough space or setup to do ice hockey
Yep,
yet.
yep, okay, good,
So when does soccer end? Is it?
So we are going to be ending in October. We've only got, I think, 3 more weeks. It's like right around Columbus weekend.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we keep having rain delays, we'll probably push it out another week after that, but.
Yeah.
yep. Okay, good. All right, and then the final item is this grant application. So I've established some contacts with the Department of Health, and one of our partners at the Department of Health introduced me to someone at what's called the Collaborative, which is an organization that is for, like drug prevention and things of that nature. And there is a Partnership for Success mini grant opportunity for Bennington County. And they were doing outreach because they're trying to get applicants from different municipalities to participate. And so they were aware of the skate park at Center Street Park, and they also knew about the ice skating rink. And so they felt that our initiatives to provide opportunities for youth fit into this Partnership for Success grant opportunity that they have. So I didn't get it until yesterday, and the due date is next Friday.
Oh, plenty of time.
So the grants, they said that they have $35,000 in funding, and they're trying to award 5 mini grants is what they're trying to do. And let's see, what else did I want to say about that? I guess if we're interested in applying, which I think we could find we could use some monies for additional skate activities at the park. Maybe we could have some more scooters and helmets, and a bike rack is an idea, for kids to put their bikes, because I see kids all the time riding down here to the park. And there were kids obviously down there when we were at the event a week or so ago. So I think we definitely could come up with some ideas to spend the monies. So I wanted to ask, your approval to pursue the grant. And also I would need to ask for select board approval Thursday night, because that's the last meeting before the grant is due. So I reached out.
Sorry about getting on the agenda.
Yeah, I reached out to Tara, and she said she could add me at the beginning of the meeting.
Perfect.
So I will write up, if we're okay with this, I will write up what the grant is about, and ask for the select board to approve it. And I guess if there's any questions, I could send you the grant. I don't think there's going to be any questions. It's,
No, there might just be a few, like if there's going to be any stipulations or conditions attached to it, if
Yeah.
there's like a municipal match required, like that kind of stuff.
yep. And there's no match required. There is a requirement, like, to post some, to share some three
Yeah,
times.
Material.
Yeah, share some material on your website or on your social media. Prevention messaging, post monthly, at least one message through media. Message provided by the collaborative. It's just, like drug prevention messaging.
Yeah, I guess that would just depend on like what the message is specifically,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
as long as it's like not political, not
oh,
religious.
I don't think it's anything like that, but I can ask for an example of what the messaging would be. So with that, I will entertain a motion for Parks and Rec to submit a grant application for this funding.
A second.
Actually, someone needs to.
I move, make a,
You did.
I'm on top of it tonight. Okay, so you made the motion.
I second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay, great.
So we're thinking then, another state, consult with somebody as far as that, what would put out, what additional skating structure?
Well, I was thinking I would reach out to the folks that constructed the skate park. Because there's like a Facebook site or something for it, or a Google site. They have a page somewhere for that, for the skate park.
I was unaware of
I
that.
believe they do.
It's a Facebook page or they actually have a
I
website?
think it's a Facebook page, if I remember correctly. I don't know what it's called, but I will find it. But it was Cliff Dayton that was the one that, led the construction.
That sounds, yeah.
So I was thinking I could reach out to him and ask, is there anything
Yeah.
specific that would be useful for the skate park?
Good idea.
And then I could look at some bike racks and see
Good idea.
how much they are, and, just some scooters and helmets and things of that nature. And I was also, the person that sent me the grant said, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And I think I'd like to just understand like what's the scope of the funding, because there was different categories. So like, they were very broad categories. So like 1,500 to 3,000, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 10 to 15, like. I
For
guess
dollar amounts?
For dollar amount. So I guess I'm wondering, like, if you put in for that, are you just disqualified if they don't have enough money, or will they give you less? You know what I mean? Or like if they don't have enough or something like that. I just wanted some clarification on the funding. Because it would be nice also to have something to store the stuff in down there.
Yes, another shed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put some stuff in. So I will do that. And we can correspond by email on,
Sounds good.
whatever that is. So, okay. So with that, the next meeting date and time, let's see, will be in October. So the second Tuesday is October 11th. Oh, I guess I didn't say like officially on the record that Foster resigned from the Parks and Rec Committee. So it is just the three of us. So we would love,
If there's anybody that would like to join,
we would love that.
Feel free.
Yeah. But for the time being, at least it's just two of us that requires a quorum. So if we did have a conflict, it's not.
it's not a showstopper.
It's not a showstopper. Yep. So the second Tuesday is October 11th. Does that work?
Yep, works for me.
As of right now, it should,
Okay.
but if that changes, I will let you guys know.
Okay. All right. 10/11 at 6 PM. All right. Hannah, is there any public comment?
There's not, yet.
Okay. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second,
Second?
any discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. All right, thank you very much. Oh, it's only 25 minutes.
Yeah.